Thanks again to You Know Who for pointing us in the right direction for this deleted clip from the Batman movie starring Robert Pattinson and Paul Dano as the Riddler. This is a deleted scene which I presume would have been towards the end of the film, or maybe not. I don't know. I haven't watched it. Forewarning: if you haven't watched the Batman, or you know someone who hasn't watched the Batman, this will involve spoilers. We will obviously be discussing an aspect of the film, and one aspect of the film is the curious ending in which Paul Dano is incarcerated, and we hear the voice of a character in an adjoining cell. I got excited when I saw this at the cinema, thinking, oh my God, Joaquin Phoenix has just decided to kind of drop in on a sort of cameo visit to Matt Reeves's The Batman, and that's going to somehow interconnect them and all that kind of stuff. But no, quite the opposite. In fact, the sanctity and segregation of Joaquin Phoenix's The Joker has been maintained, because this indeed is the character of the Joker, yet another incarnation and iteration of the Joker that was teased and just not revealed. And it's up for debate whether what we're about to watch should have been included, could have been included. Perhaps if this clip was included, it might have diminished the impact of Paul Dano, but I'm going to reserve my judgment until I've watched the clip. Now, what I would say is I had it tipped off somewhere that Barry Keoghan plays the sort of shadowy, silhouetted profile shot of the Joker sat in another cell. And Barry Keoghan is a fascinating actor. He was in Dunkirk. He was recently in The Green Knight. He was also in American Animals as well. He was very good in that. I find him a fascinating character, and his rise to fame and his battle through the ranks of acting to reach such sort of heady heights as playing the next iteration of the Joker is quite phenomenal. Funnily enough, last night I was at a fan screening of Morbius, and Jared Leto was there, and of course, you know, I was there with Nanny Di and my mother, and she said, well, isn't he the Joker? I don't understand. I thought Joaquin Phoenix was the Joker. So for anyone who's not in the DC comic world sort of, you know, area or sort of zone, it is very confusing. I mean, some people just think Jack Nicholson was the Joker and that Jim Carrey was the Riddler. So no, you had Heath Ledger. You've had Jared Leto in the Suicide Squad and Justice League. We recently had the Snyder Cut of the Justice League, where Jared Leto again was the Joker. You know what? A lot of people hated the first Suicide Squad. I mean, okay, yeah, I preferred the second one, but I didn't mind Jared Leto's sort of performance or interpretation of the Joker at all. And then, of course, there's Joaquin Phoenix's, you know, marvelous Oscar-winning turn as the most sinister of Batman's villains. But that Joker sort of sits almost in his own sort of world. And so this is Barry Keoghan's Joker, yet another Joker to kind of contemplate, chew over and watch. So shall we check out this scene? It's about 5 minutes long, so I'm going to watch the lot and then we'll have a little discussion afterwards.
Present. Almost our anniversary, isn't it?
There's a serial killer. I want your perspective.
I like the out of focus.
First anniversary, paper. What makes you think I come so cheap?
I thought you'd be curious.
You think I could offer this stuff?
Don't you?
You have pictures. It's violence. It's so baroque. Oh. He likes little puzzles, doesn't he? So meticulous. Like he's been planning this his whole life. I know who he is.
Oh. Who is he?
He's a nobody. Wants to be somebody. The mayor, the commissioner. Yeah. He's got ambition.
You think his motive is political?
Oh, no. This is very, very personal. He feels these people have all wronged him. Probably goes way back. Unhealed wounds, stolen lunch money.
Why is he writing to me?
Maybe he's a fan of yours? Or maybe he's got a grudge against you, too. Maybe you're the main course. Any theories?
Not yet.
Really? You're normally so ahead of the curve. But something is different this time. This is very upsetting to you.
Let's get back to him.
Why? You're so much more
I'm
fun.
not here to talk about me.
What are you here to talk about?
I want to know how he thinks.
You know exactly how he thinks. Have you read this file? You two have so much in common. Masked Avengers. So he's even more righteous. Oh, are you afraid he makes you look soft?
You're wasting my time.
Okay. I'll tell you what I really think. I think you don't really care about his motives, whether he loves or hates you. I think somewhere deep down, you're just terrified. 'Cause you're not sure he's wrong, huh? You think they deserved it, huh? You think they deserved it.
Christ almighty. That was like a short film in itself, wasn't it? I must admit, I was watching it through the lens of trying to think how would that have tipped the balance of, you know, villainy versus Batman and all that. And actually, because it so cleverly keeps him in sort of soft focus all the way through, you know, the way it was focused on that latticed kind of security glass. I thought that was really clever. And I don't know if you noticed that when they went to the reverse shot from within the cell, you got the clearer shot of the Joker in the reflection. But obviously, because it was a reflection, it wasn't that clear, but it was sharper. So you got a sense of it. And obviously his voice was clearer whenever they flipped to the Joker's POV. I think once again, it's another scene where Pattinson is very good at just simmering and just waiting and not saying much. I mean, it puts you in mind of that wonderful comic line where he says to Catwoman, "You've got a lot of cats." You know, one-liners delivered. It's very hard to get much into those one-lines. You know, arch nemesis against each other. The physicality of Barry Keoghan's Joker, just the sort of, you know, patches of torn hair and scar tissue on the back of the head, the sort of top weave. I mean, he's looking a little, I mean, he's a total fusion, not surprisingly, of, in a sense, the sartorial kind of top haircut of Jared Leto's Joker, but in that close-up, that sort of slow reveal from above the kind of window microphone voice tannoy type thing, the nastiest Joker mouth I think we've ever seen. And so to that extent, I wonder if my friend suggesting that perhaps this would have undermined the Riddler's sort of malevolence and villainy and sort of insanity, if you like. I think towards the end of the scene, it could well have done that, because you would forever be thinking, well, there's the Riddler, but then there's this other complete psychopath in prison here. It kind of reminds me a little bit of him being in prison and Batman going for help from him. It was a little bit like that scene in No Time to Die, where James Bond heads off to see the Christoph Waltz, I forget his name, character, Blomfield, is it, or whatever, to get some advice. So I like that. You know, I think it's, what can you say? I think it's an absolutely perfect scene. And I wonder whether we're going to see it inserted within a longer cut of the Batman. Though let's you know, not beat around the bush. The Batman comes in at a staggering 3 hours, or 2 hours, 59 minutes. Could we tolerate 3 hours and 5 minutes? I love the sound mix. I love the look of it. It's very, very... Tom Phil, it's very, very Joaquin Phoenix is the Joker in terms of look and style. I love the bold decision to keep him out of focus. As you know, you can't, that's breaking all the rules, and obviously for a purpose, because you want to conceal what he looks like. And there's some kind of practical reasons for that, because of course, if you see him from the outset, you're going to settle into him a bit, and people are going to just be thinking, how does he compare to the other Batmans and all that kind of stuff. So it was both a sort of a necessity to hold him out of focus, but it added to the sense of menace and build within in essentially a very static scene. I thought it was brilliant. I could watch it again. Barry Keoghan sounding wonderful, and the laugh at the end. I'm sorry, every time I hear the Joker's laugh, I realise how uncannily like it mine is.